Welcome to Safety is Everywhere YouTube channel. Dear friends, don't forget to subscribe this channel and share the link with your safety professional friends.
Hello everybody. Last class I have completed the quantification issues related to basic events. Today we will start system level quantification, and today's topic is the basics of quantification of system safety and one of the method for system safety quantification, that is reliability block diagram. So, we will see what are the issues related to system safety quantification. Then we will see first the simple systems and their quantification, and then we will describe reliability block diagram, and finally some examples we have seen, and I hope that 35 minutes of time we will be able to complete it. And this lecture is also taken from the book written by Kumamoto Henley, Probabilistic Risk Assessment and Management for Engineer and Scientist, published by Wiley. Now let us spend some time here that what are the issues that is important for system safety quantification. So if you recall the fault tree and finally the cut set spot fault tree or different kinds of hazards that alone or in combination with different events lead to the top event. So here the top event is the issue. So top event is basically system level event. If top event occurs, means system level failure occurs. There could be more than one top events. So in that case, the collectively the quantification will be different, but we are assuming one top event at a time, and that sense we are quantifying the system safety. So like component quantification, component fail safety quantification or component level basic event level quantification. So in the system level quantification also the parameters are more or less same. So the parameters of interest are availability, unavailability, reliability, unreliability, system failure density, then your expected number of top events, and also unconditional failure intensity for the system, and also mean time to failure for the system. Okay. So, you know all those definitions from component failure point of view. Now, what is unavailability? Unavailability at the system level is that the probability that, okay, let us start with availability. Availability, the probability that the top event does not exist at time t. At time t, system is available. Unavailability, at time t, system is unavailable. That means the probability that the top event exists at time t. Now, what is that top event? It can be for the pressure tank system, it can be the tank rupture, some system can be fire, some system it may be simple the breakdown of machines, and it all depends what are the top events you are interested with. Then what is the reliability? Reliability, that the probability that the top event does not occur over the time interval 0 to t, and then unreliability, that probability that the top event occurs before time t. So, I am not stressing more today because these are the definitions that we have already discussed while we have discussed the quantification of basic events. Then what is the system failure density? It is basically the derivative with reference to time for the unreliability. Then expected number of top events. So, if you know the unconditional failure intensity for the system level, then this is the formula, and in between t and t plus delta t in such a manner that within the small amount of time only one event can take place. And if you are interested to know the expected number of failures within T1 and T2, then this is the formula. And what is the mean time to failure here for that the system level? Expected length of time to the first occurrence of the top event, first occurrence of the top event. So, then this is the formula. Okay. So, we are using S everywhere to denote that the parameter at the system level or the distribution at the system level. Okay. For component we have not used anything, only for availability we have used AT, for unavailability QT, but at system level AST, QST, RST, FST like this. Okay. So, these are the issues, these are the things you require to quantify at the system level. Simple system. Simple system means the system can be represented using AND or OR gate or maybe AND or combinations. Okay. So, if the top event is linked with the bottom basic events with AND gate, you all know what is the probability of the top event occurrence. If top event occur at time t, then it is basically system is unavailable. So, as a result we are able to write here QST, which is probability of that joint probability, I can say the intersection between all the basic event probabilities. Okay. So, then this is basically multiplication assuming that the basic events are independent events. And in the OR gate case, what will happen? we will start with if you say the unavailability, then unavailability means any one of the basic events if occur lead to the top event occur, the top that will be unavailable. So, union. Okay. So, union is important. So, how do we compute this? So, then QST will be 1 minus AST, where AST is the availability. Now, availability means that if BI stands for that failure, then the complement BI bar is success. Okay. So, that means all those basic events that should not occur. As basic events, we started with failure events. So, then all the success required. So, that is why our probability intersection of all those, then probability of B1 bar into probability B2 bar, probability Bn bar, as we have assumed that all the events are independent. So, their probability will be multiplied for the intersection or joint probability, and then what is PB1 bar? This is nothing but 1 minus PB1. So, PB bar, if I say PBI bar, this is nothing but 1 minus probability BI. Okay. So, then AST is computed. Now, you can put here, you can find out the QST. Now, let us talk about voting gate, which is basically gate M out of N gate. So, in that case, what way you will find out the system unavailability, system level unavailability. We have discussed that when finding out the card set, and that time also we have discussed and in some other classes well quantification gate by gate method, and we have discussed that it can be the voting gate can be decomposed into equivalent AND and OR gate, and then using gate by gate method you can find out the what is the probability of the top event. Top event is nothing but failure event, and then this is the unavailability of the top event. So, here we will just show another approach, basically using binomial theorem. So, in order to use the binomial theorem, we will assume that all the basic events are independent and equal probability, all have equal probability q. That means probability of B1 equal to probability of B2 equal to probability of Bn equal to q, where q is basically the component level unavailability. Okay. So, then using binomial theorem, we can write this one, that what is required for the top event to occur. Out of n inputs, m must occur, then top event will occur, or m or more. Getting me? If m out of n basic events, if m or more basic events occur, then top event will occur. Minimum m basic event must occur. Then if using binomial theorem, you know that the probability that out of m number of m events can occur, this is nothing but n choose m, out of n basic events choose m number of basic events into q to the power m and 1 minus q to the power n minus m. This is what is coming from binomial theorem. So, that means this is the combination part, NCM. How many combinations possible? That means how many ways you can choose m components out of n given. Then what is q? Q is basically the probability that the component is unavailable or component is a failed state. So, that to the power m, and then there is another probability, that is basically success probability, which is basically 1 minus q. So, the rest will be under success. So, 1 minus q to the power n minus m. Now, what will happen for the system level unavailability? System level unavailability, that means either m or m plus 1 or m plus 2, means m or more number of basic events would occur. As a result, the summation is coming here. So, QST is k equal to m to n, nc k q to the power k 1 minus k to the power n minus k. So, this one summed over k equal to 1 to m, all the probabilities are summed. So, that is what is our probability for in the voting gate, when m out of n combinations lead to the top event to occur, the unavailability of the system can be computed using this equation, provided all the basic events have equal probability of occurring and the basic events are independent in nature. For example, if we choose n equal to 3 and m equal to 2, then the QST will be just putting the k equal to 2 to 3 in this equation, you will be getting this value, 3q square minus 2q cube. Now, you know what is the q value. If q is 0.5, you can put here 0.5, then you will get the system unavailability. Okay. So, now let us see that what are the different methods that are techniques that are available to quantify the system level failures or system level unavailability, availability and other system level parameters. So, there are quite a number of approaches available. For example, reliability block diagram, truth table, structure function, minimal cut representation, minimal path representation, partial pivotal decomposition or inclusion exclusion formula approach. So, today in the rest of the time we will discuss the reliability block diagram. In the next class, truth table, structure function or minimal cut and path representation approach will be discussed. The sole purpose is to find out the top event occurrence, which is basically unavailability of the system, and then resulting availability and other failure parameters quantification. So, let us see what is the reliability block diagram. Now, here we will define two kinds of system. One is n component series system and n component parallel system. What does it mean in component series system? That means, for example, you just think of any machine and which you have created in such a manner that the component, one of the component fails, mean the system will fail. So, then what happen, this can be said that it is in the series one like this. So, under this situation, what will be the availability of the system? Availability of the system is that when all the components are available, then only the system is available. If any one of the component is unavailable, system is unavailable. So, that is why you calculate the availability of the system at time t, which is basically probability of that success of the system, which is basically joint probability by all the component are successful. If Bi is the probability of failure for the ith component, Bi bar will be the probability of success. So, in that sense, this one can be written like this: as B1 to Bn all events are independent, we are multiplying their corresponding probabilities, and which in this manner can be written. And then what will be the reliability of the system? Reliability of the system is individual component reliability multiplied. Okay, RST I equal to 1 to n RIT, where RIT is the component level reliability. Okay. When it is a n parallel component, in that case what happen? In that case the system will be unavailable if all the components, these are simultaneously unavailable. Here what happened? If any one component is unavailable, system is unavailable. Here if all are unavailable, then only system is unavailable. So, as a result, the system level failure is basically intersection of all the component unavailability, and this can be written like this, and finally you are writing like this. So, then correspondingly FST, RST you can calculate using these equations. Essentially these are simple and easy to understand also. I do not think that you will face any problem, you will not be lost within these notations. Okay. So, let us see some more related to this. Now, what will happen if the components are having constant failure rate? So, that means the time to failure is exponentially distributed. Under this situation, what will be the reliability? Reliability will be, for component level reliability will be this, where lambda I is the distribution parameter, exponential that distribution parameter for the ith component. Then RST will also be e to the power, will be exponentially distributed to the power minus lambda st, where lambda is nothing but the sum of the individual component failure parameter lambda. And then obviously that mean time to failure of system level will be 1 by this. Now, if the same thing is applied, means same exponential distribution applied to a parallel system where the components failure probability is exponentially distributed with ith component exponential parameter lambda I, then we have seen earlier that this is the equation. and now for only two independent components we have defined this. So, I equal to 1 and I equal to 2. So, 1 minus I equal to 1 means 1 minus e to the power minus lambda I, and when it is I equal to 2, so that is lambda 2. So, that sense it is to be understood. Okay. So, from here putting I equal to 1 and I equal to 2 and multiplying the 2, basically this is the multiplication symbol, you will be getting this value and MTTF will be this one. So, MTTF is basically system level. If you know the system level, that failure parameter, which is lambda, I think we have defined earlier what is lambda. Lambda dt is basically probability that the component will fail within time t delta t when it was as good as new at when it was normal at time t and as good as new at time t equal to 0. So, those derivations and all those things already given to you in earlier lectures. I hope that you will not face any problem. Now, we will see that the difference between reliability block diagram and fault tree. In fact, one is one can be constructed from the other. If your reliability block diagram is it's a series system, so that means the success of the system will depend on both the system, both the components success. This is successful, then only system will be successful. So, if one of the component fails, then the system is failed. So, that is represented in fault tree using OR gate. If B1 takes place, top event will occur, B2 takes place, top event will occur. But when we are, what is the difference? When we use reliability block diagram, we use the success probability. When you use fault tree, we use the failure probability. So, that means this series system and OR gate, series system in RBD and OR gate in fault tree, they are synonyms. Okay, or once that two sides of the coin basically. Now, if it is a parallel system for reliability block diagram, that means any one of the component, if it is successful, the system is successful. So, that means in order to make the system failure, both the component should fail. So, both the components should fail means AND gate. So, that way you can any RBD can be converted to a fault tree and any fault tree can be converted to a RBD, where RBD talks about success path and fault tree talk about failure path. That is why we will see later on using RBD we will calculate path set, which is basically success path, and using fault tree you have already seen we have computed cut set or minimal cut sets. So, one example, this is the pressure tank example. Several times we have discussed what is this pressure tank. Our issue is pressure tank rupture, and considering only the primary failures or the basic events and ignoring the your secondary events, the fault tree is simplified to this kind of fault tree. So, here we have 6 basic events 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, we have denoted by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but someone can say B1 and B1 to B6, no problem. So, then if this is the fault tree, then what is the corresponding reliability block diagram? You see what will happen, in fault tree you see that if the one B1 takes place, top event will take place means failure takes place. but because of AND gate here, so at least one from this side and one from this side, means either 2 and 4 or 2 and 5 or 2 and 6 or 3 4 3 5 3 6 must occur, then only what will happen, this side this AND gate condition will be satisfied and this will occur. Now, what we want using path set or RBD, we want that the pressure tank rupture will not take place. Now, see the condition. Now, if one is this one and then 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3, this will not occur, failure will not occur like this one, this and this. If this one will not occur, when one is primary tank is successfully running, then what will happen, and also 2 and 3 are successfully running, that means this condition will not be satisfied. If this is successfully running, this OR gate, this side is over, that part one is successfully running, forget. So, we have to satisfy this AND gate part. Okay. Now, if we say that both 2 and 3 are successfully running, so what will happen? This side will be blocked. So, whatever, even all those things fails, this AND gate will not be satisfied. So, this is one success path, this is another success path, 4 bar, 6 bar. Okay. So, now what we are basically want to do, we want to find out the probability of this tank rupture. Now, using this, you can find out that probability is 1 intersection these 2 intersection 3 union 4 all these 3, and ultimately you will be able to get the success. Success means there are 2 paths, one this side, another this side. So, both the path probability will ultimately give you the success probability. So, now we want to generate the path set. So, earlier you have generated the cut set, means failure path. Now, we want to know the success path. So, success path, here the difference will be, in case of cut set, we say all other things same, alphabetize each gate, number each basic event, then go in this manner. That is what the Mukas algorithm in cut set computation you have seen. The difference starts here. In cut set, we say that OR gate actually increases the number of cut set and AND gate increases the number of elements in a cut set, but in case of path set or in case of RBD, when you go for path set computation, any OR gate, what will happen? It get horizontal arrangement increase, it will actually replace OR gate by a horizontal arrangement of the inputs to the gate, enlarge the size of the path sets, and AND gate, what it will do is increases the number of path sets. So, if there are more AND gate, more path sets will be created. So, as a result, that is what we are doing here. So, from here to fault RBD also you can find out, or from fault tree, first gate is this, you write this one. Then what is this gate? This is OR gate. So, what it will do? It increase the number of elements in the path set. What is this element? This element is 1 bar. So, this is B. Now, B is what gate? B is AND gate. If it is AND gate, from path set point of view, it will increase the number of path sets. So, that is why 1 bar, because of the basic event, basic success event means the success of the basic component level. So, that remain as it is. Now, B will be split, but B again you see B is AND gate. So, C and D is coming. So, that means because of AND gate, it is increasing the path set. Now what you require to do, you have further decompose, you require to decompose C and D. C and D both are OR gate. It will just increase the number of that success events in the path set. So, if you break C, C 2 and 3 is there, 2 bar 3 bar. For D, again what happened, D is having 4 bar and E, so 4 bar and E writing. Again E is another OR gate, so it will increase the number, so that means 5 and input is 5 and 6, 5 bar 6 bar. So, that means how many path sets? 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 1 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar, 6 bar. So, if this one is successful and these two successful, this will not that system will be successful, or this is successful and these three successful, system will be successful. Okay. So, that is what is our and what will happen ultimately in this way, you decompose and finally, you may find out a situation where you have to actually go for minimal path sets by removing supersets. The way we have removed the supersets in terms of cut sets, find out the minimal cut sets. So, I hope that we have given enough explanation to RBD and then fault tree and RBD linking. Here I am just giving another example which we have taken from the Kumamoto book. This is a system where basically some hot tail gas is coming from calciner and it is basically through booster fan, it is coming to this quenching system. So, where basically water is supplied using two quench pumps B or C, and then it then passes through a pre-scrubber, and this pre-scrubber is basically here, there is another pump which basically again further pour water there. So, water from the bottom of the pre-scrubber, this is okay, this dish, and water from the bottom of the pre-scrubber is either recirculated by pump E and F. So, as using pump D, water is poured here. So, at the bottom there will be water that will be recirculated either pump E or F, or other way there is a they will be removed to the per stream. Now, there is a mesh pad. This is basically to remove the particulates in the gas, and finally, after removal of this, the gases flow to the absorber. So, what is there then? Hot gas is coming. So, going through that quenching system, then another water quenching, then finally, it is basically going through mesh pad for particulates removal and going to absorber, and whatever item falling the water, it is basically accumulated here. This is either recirculated by this one of the two pumps, or it is basically taken out by per stream. So, what is the system level objective here? The system is designed to decrease the temperature of the hot gas by water quench. So, because this gas is hot, by water quenching you want to decrease the temperature. So, here you are doing as well as here you are doing. Then saturate the gas with water vapor. So, so inside the gas will be saturated using water vapor. Then remove solid particles entrained in the gas. This mesh pad is doing this purpose. Now, if I want to say what is the system success, then all those the three objectives must be fulfilled, then it is system is successful. Any one of the things if not fulfilled, then system is a failure. So, now you can develop a fault tree for this. So, what is the system failure? If any one of the objectives is not fulfilled, that is failure. So, then if booster fan does not work, that also lead to failure, because tail gas will not come here. And if the either of the quenching pump will not work, then temperature will not be cooled. If feed water pump does not work, vapor that water saturation will not take place. If either of the pump will not work, then this water will not be taken out from this prescriber and recirculated. If the PAR system will not work, then also what is happening, that water is not going out. Now, if the mesh pad will not work, particulates will not be removed. So, all those things ultimately means this is not working, one of the two is not working, this is not working, one of the two not working, this mesh pad is not working, all those things finally lead to system failure. So, then what will be the fault tree? Whatever I told in verbally or in description, that is what we have written in fault tree. You just see system failure, this T, booster fan failure, quench pump failure. If both the quench pump does not work, then quench pump failure, feed pump failure. If both this circulation pump does not work, then this failure, filter failure, that mesh pad failure. So, if these things happens, only the top event will work. Now, if we want to see the your successful path, or this is basic, this gives us the, once you use the Mokas algorithm, you will get the cut set from this. Then what will be the success one? Success one we can write like this, system success T bar. You see here we have used, when we are talking about system failure, we have used OR gate here and AND gate here. When you are going for success, OR replaced by AND gate and AND gates are replaced by OR gate. So, that is the difference between success tree, that was the fault tree. So, here basic event success or basic event success is the basic event and probability of success will be computed. In fault tree, probability of failure will be computed. If you use this fault tree and use Mokas algorithm, you will get the cut set, path sets. If you use the other fault tree, that if you use this success tree, you will get the path sets. If you use the fault tree, you will get the cut sets. Now, this one can be equivalently represented by reliability block diagram. Okay. So, that is what is written here. A booster fan, there is OR gate parallel system, then AND, this one is basically with AND gate in the series, another OR gate parallel, this is with AND gate series. So, here series and parallel systems are combined. So, this is a combined system. So, wherever this is the AND gate, so series issues are coming. So, if I consider this is together, then this in series to this, series to this, series to this, series to this. Now, this one related to this pump, because of OR gate, they are in parallel. If any one of the two is successful, then what will happen? This that quenching pump is successful. Similarly, any of the circulation pump is successful, then this is successful. So, that is in the parallel system. Okay. Now, using this you can find out the probability, unavailability, reliability, MTTR and all those things, the way we have discussed so far. Okay. So, I hope that you understood on this one, and as I told in the beginning, we have taken the lecture material from the book written by Kumamoto and Henley. Please go through this chapter, system safety issues, quantification of system safety, and go through the video lecture and also participate in the discussion forum. Thank you very much.